Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I finally decided to start posting again. Yeah, so we're gonna do Love Island recaps or my thoughts on the Love Island episodes. I might also do it with Love Island UK, but I'm not sure because that'd be a lot of editing, and it might be too much for me. So there's kind of gonna be two different parts to this video. I have the first one where I'm going to be talking about my preseason thoughts, and then I'm going to be talking about the actual first episode of Love Island. Okay, so my thoughts on the Islanders preseason are going to be based on their social media presence, thoughts from some of the Twitter communities that I'm in, and promotional material posted by the Love Island USA official accounts and like the app. I'm going to be looking at my notes that I have on my laptop. So if I keep looking off to the side, I'm looking at notes. The first thing I want to say is that I did not like how people were comparing the new Islanders to previous Islanders, specifically season 6 Islanders. But especially before even like seeing their personalities, I think you can kind of compare. I think you can kind of compare personalities after watching the episodes, but I think it's weird to be like people were saying like Alandria, Huda, and Shelly are gonna be the new PPG, and it's like you don't even know these people's personalities. Like, how are you saying that? But it's whatever. I'll also say I have beef with the TikTok side of the fandom. I don't know. I just think our thoughts clash a lot. Like, I prefer to stay on Twitter. Uh, that's normally where I stay. Even at season 6, I was on Twitter for most of it. I didn't have too many thoughts on most of the girls. I did have thoughts on one girl. You will see. But I'm going to talk about the boys first. So, Jeremiah's initial vibes to me were giving F-boy. It just, yeah, his intro was like, I'm all about communication, 3/4 good boy, 1/4 F-boy. And I was like, it's giving all F-boy. And I don't know. Like, that's just what it was giving. I also saw people on Twitter saying he reminds them of Timmy from season 5, which I don't know if I'm necessarily getting that from him, but maybe kind of. Like, he's kind of scammerish in my opinion. Like, he's giving, like, he's playing an act. Ace was my preseason favorite. I didn't originally know if I was gonna like him because his clip that they posted was like, I'm a short king, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't like people who make their height their personality, but he was like a preseason favorite because I found out that he was a TikToker, and I watched some of his TikToks, and I think he's funny. So I was like, okay, he's gonna be good entertainment. Taylor and Nick, I didn't really have too many thoughts on them preseason. They didn't have much like on their social media that was like, you know, interesting. So yeah, I was just like, they don't seem bad. Like, there's no bad vibes coming from them, but I can't really get a read on them. Okay, so the person I have the most opinions on at the beginning was Austin. I didn't actually have too many opinions on him. I compared him to Bergie in my notes from season 4, but I changed my mind on that. Just like first impressions off of like the first video that was posted of him, I got Bergie vibes, but I don't think it's that. I just think, yeah, I don't think he's giving Bergie. Okay, so I'm filming this while editing on my MacBook, so the quality is bad, but this is the best I can do. I just had to mention this. In the next section, I'm talking about Austin's, people's opinions on Austin's preseason, and it's more so about his family's response to these opinions. These opinions come from people looking at his TikTok account. It's just a lot of it is kind of speculation, and none of it is like, you know, people don't know it for sure. So I just kind of cut out the part where I talk about those things because it's speculation. Um, his family did end up like defending him, I want to say, and I don't know if that's like good PR or bad PR. I know what is bad PR, and I'll also talk about that in a second. But his family did end up defending him, and they said something about how he's like not, how he didn't vote in the last election, which is because the Trump issue was the thing most people are mad about on Twitter and TikTok. but his family said that he didn't vote in the last election, and they said that he's not racist because he has like black family members and he had a black girlfriend in high school or something. I don't know. Okay, the one girl that I want to talk about is Yulissa. Yeah, Yulissa. So a lot of stuff came out about her and her social media presence before the season started. She's also a Trump supporter, which is what people are annoyed about. Hers is clear, like it's clear she's a Trump supporter. A video also resurfaced of her on a podcast saying the N-word. A lot of people were mad because Yulissa's friends were coming after fans of the show. It was a lot. Her friends did defend this decision. I think this was stupid on their part because if something like that's happening, I feel like if you're a friend, why would you bring attention to it? Her friend said it's okay that she said the N-word because everyone in Miami says it, or something along the lines of that. Yeah, people were also mad at production because of this, because they're like, you have to do background checks. We know you do extensive background checks, so why is she even on the island? Yeah, I don't know if production knew about it or not, but we shall see. The third thing that I didn't like about her was more so about her personality. Like I said with Ace, I don't like people that hype their personality, and she really makes it her personality. The first thing she said in the clip before any of this stuff came out was like, I want to be treated like a baby. I'm 4'11". I am a baby. That irked me so bad. And I didn't like her after that. Like, I want her out the villa. There's also evidence that she could not be telling the truth about her age. She does say that she's 27. But there's evidence on Twitter that she's actually 33, which would make sense because she said that she was in a 9-year relationship. And I don't see a 27-year-old being in a 9-year relationship. Okay, now I'm going to talk about episode 1. I'm going to try to speed through this really fast, but it was 40 minutes late. A lot of people are mad. I'm mad because episode 2 was also kind of late. It was like 5 minutes late or something, which isn't as bad, but still, I remember episodes used to come out 10 minutes early, so just say that. I skipped through most of Yulissa and Austin's parts, but I tried not to skip through Austin's parts as much because he is coupled up with Shelly, and I like Shelly, but Yulissa, I was clicking that button. In terms of like Nick, I did have some thoughts about him now that he's on my screen. I think he was giving me like a frat boy impression, and I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. I don't think it's either. That's just the impression that he was giving me. I have more thoughts on Jeremiah. Jeremiah and Huda are like this right now. This is after watching episode 2, but they're locked in. Jeremiah, I've been trying to figure out Jeremiah and Huda. I don't think they're gonna work out. It seems like it would be very toxic. Jeremiah has admitted that he has cheated on his ex. Yeah, I don't think Huda is necessarily gonna like that. Huda has said that she is a mom and that she does not want to share that information with any of the guys at this moment, which I don't think that's a bad thing. I know it's been debated on Twitter if she should share that information or not. I think ultimately it will come out probably within a week or 2. And the reason I think that is because bombshells are going to start coming in and bombshells are going to have that information. That's why I think it'll come out. But yeah, Huda did slip up. Her and Jeremiah were talking about their apartments and if they have roommates, and she stated that she had a 2-bedroom apartment. He asked her what the second bedroom is for. She just kind of sat there in silence, and he got weirded out. He was like, what is she not telling me? And then she was just kind of like suspicious about it. Like, we know obviously why she's doing that, but he doesn't know why she's doing that. And it was just weird. And she was like, I'll talk to you about it later. And he was like, what?
Why are you looking at me like, don't look at me like that?
No, because my mind started going. We can talk about it later.
I've also seen people on Twitter comparing Huda and Jeremiah to Sally and Johnny, and I can totally get that. I get that from them as well. Shelly and Ace are the next people who I want to talk about. They aren't in a couple. Shelly is with Austin, Ace is with Yulissa, okay? Shelly and Ace know each other from outside of the villa. They both follow each other on Instagram. They've met each other at the club. Shelly and Ace, I think it's a coincidence, but I was like scared that there was gonna be scammer allegations for them on Twitter. I don't think they're scammers. I don't think they came in there knowing that they were gonna couple up together, because it doesn't even seem like they're trying to do that. Like, Ace is 22, Shelly's 27. I think they're talking to each other, but I don't know if they're gonna couple up together. So the challenge was everyone's blindfolded and you raise your hand if you want to get up and kiss someone outside of your couple. Only 4 people stood up, and that's Shelly, Nick, Ace, and Alandria. So I was expecting 2 of them. I was expecting Nick to kiss Alandria, and I was expecting Shelly to kiss Ace. I didn't expect Alandria to kiss Ace. I don't think it matters that much. Like, I don't think it meant anything in the long run. I just wasn't expecting it. And I wasn't expecting Ace to kiss Huda. Ace actually went up and kissed Shelly, and then kissed Huda before he sat back down. And I wasn't expecting that. So I'm getting more F-boy vibes from Ace than Jeremiah at this point. But like I said, I think Jeremiah is acting. I think he's playing a role, so he makes it to the end. So from the first episode, I don't have too much to say about Bella, but I think people are being so mean on Twitter. They're saying to vote her out because she's boring. She, instead of kissing people in the first challenge, she makes them kiss her on her cheek, which, I mean, to each their own. I do think, you know, she's 22, she said she's Christian, and she came there to find love. I don't necessarily think she's gonna find, like, some serious love there, like a lifelong love, because I don't think most of the time that's what Love Island is for. I think it's rare that that'll happen. Speaking of, Hannah and Marco from season 5 are engaged, which love that for them. They were my favorite couple in that season, so I'm happy for them. But besides the point, I just had to say that Bella also coupled up with Nick, and I just don't think they're compatible. I think that, like Nick said, he's super touchy, and Bella just seems very, like, I don't know how to describe it. She seems very innocent, and I don't think that's bad. I just don't think that they're compatible. And if she wants to find love, she's gonna have to get away from Nick sooner or later. The last thing that happened in the episode is the bombshells came in. I didn't have too many opinions on them. The girl bombshell, Sierra, she's gorgeous, obviously. And the guy is British. Like I said, I don't have too many thoughts on him. Okay, that is all I have for this video. I think people need to stop being parasocial and just watch the show and be entertained. There's people getting on Alandria for kissing Ace, even though she knows Shelly and Ace are talking. I think that's too much, because nothing, you know, it's early days and it's not that serious. Like, everyone came there to explore connections, so people need to relax. Yeah.